In this tutorial, you will learn an advanced long layered haircut combining different layering techniques with a long fringe and face framing. This is the second part of a two-part series. In part 1 of this two-part series, you will learn how to master the line. The line becomes our guide for the layer in this tutorial. We start the haircut with a centre back parting, sectioning from the apex to slightly behind the ear. In this zone, we will be taking diagonal sections. This will help to create soft, seamless, and well-blended layers. I'm starting with the wet cutting side first, starting with a vertical profile section, a cutting comb in width. We direct our section with firm tension, 45 degrees or slightly above, straight out from the head shape. We now cut our layer with a 45-degree cutting angle. We continue with diagonal sections. The guide for our triangular layers is taken from the length at the top of the nape zone, on or around the occipital bone. This helps to maintain weight and volume in the length of our haircut. We now use section 1 as our guide, cutting section 2 on base, maintaining our body position, standing in a stationary position on the side of our client or model. I am directing my cutting towards the interior of my haircut. We continue to pivot our diagonal sections around the head shape, directing our guide to our new section, cutting on base while maintaining our body position and tension before cutting, double checking our distribution and elevation. It's important to maintain your cutting direction to maintain balance in your haircut shape. Triangular layers add volume, movement. They can be customized for different face shapes and hair types, suitable for straight and curly hair textures, and can also help create the illusion of length or minimize around face shape. We now take our last section as our guide for the side zone. We take vertical sections, directing the hair 90 degrees straight up on base towards the ceiling. My body position is in front of my mannequin, allowing me to maintain my cutting direction, cutting towards the center of the head. I have chosen to cut this side with a flat or square cutting angle, reducing more weight, creating sharper and more defined layers. While a triangular cutting angle in the back zone creates softer and more blended layers, combining these shapes and utilizing them as tools to tailor the perfect haircut for your client. We continue to take parallel sections using our previous section as our guide, cutting on base, maintaining our body position, distribution, elevation, and tension before cutting. We continue these steps until we complete this zone. We now flat wrap the haircut into natural fall to prepare the haircut for the refining process. Layers don't always need refining, as you have already removed weight. If the hair texture is thick or curly, you may want to point cut to refine the ends, or use the channel cutting technique to reduce more weight and to add more texture. We now move to the opposite side. I will be cutting this side dry. We now repeat the exact same steps as the previous side, taking diagonal sections to increase soft, seamless layers, cutting on base, maintaining our 45-degree elevation and cutting angle. The difference in this zone is, instead of club cutting our cutting section, we will be point cutting to increase texture and movement. You will notice my body position is in the same stationary position, allowing my cutting direction to work towards the center of the head shape, ensuring we cut a perfect balanced shape. This method of dry cutting is a very basic approach to cutting a precision haircut with controlled texture. This can be a quicker method to cutting the haircut, bypassing the refining process. I use this technique to be able to see the natural fall and texture in the haircut as I work, so I can continue to tailor the perfect technique for my client's individual hair texture. Stay tuned for advanced dry cutting tutorials launching in the future. Let me know in the comments below if you strictly cut all your haircuts wet, or whether you use a combination of dry cutting and wet cutting. We now cross-check the square layers, taking horizontal sections, directing the sections straight out, ensuring we have cut a horizontal line. Triangular layers are best cross-checked by running your fingers through the hair to check for even weight distribution and balance. Hold sections of hair in your hands and check for symmetry. Stand back and take a look at the cut from a distance to see if it looks balanced and harmonious from all angles. We now move on to the fringe and face framing zone, taking diagonal back sections approximately 1 inch in width, making allowances for the recession in our client's hairline. Fringes and face frames are an amazing tool we can use to highlight our client's best attributes. It can make your jawline look more defined, give a round face a more oval shape, and can make the cheeks, lips, or eyes stand out. It's an amazing tool to create balance in a face shape and can be tailored to fit all face shapes and textures and style. We now stand in front of our client and we cut our guide for the fringe and face framing. I have chosen to use the chin as my guide for the shortest length in this zone. I take a small section of hair from both sides of the parting and gently slice cut, slowly opening and closing your scissors, elevating the section straight out from the head shape. This will create a soft, textured effect. These sections become our guides for both sides. We take our second section, directing it to our first. Before cutting, we over-direct our cutting line 1 finger's width over the guide. This will create more texture, softness, and length in our fringe and face frame. We continue this method until we complete this zone. If you value my work or if you've learnt something new, I'd really appreciate if you smash the like and subscribe icons and let me know in the comments below. We now refine and cross-check our fringe and face framing to check the balance with point cutting and over direction. We now repeat the same process on the opposite side. You can use this method to cut any length of face frame and fringe. We now check the balance of our haircut before completing. Layers and face framing are amazing for creating volume, movement, and texture to the hair, making it appear thicker and more manageable. Layers can also help to create the illusion of length or minimize a round face shape. They are also great for people who want to add a more modern or stylish look to their hair. Additionally, layers can help to frame the face and bring out the best features. They are also a good option for people who want to keep the length of their hair but want to add some shape and definition to it. If you like this tutorial, be sure to watch part 1 or watch these 2 next, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.